Hello everybody, let's discuss on constructors in Java in this session. So we are going to discuss all these topics in this session. So let's get started. So what are constructors? Constructor is a block of code similar to method. It is called when an instance of the class is created. So instance of the class is nothing but object. So whenever an object is created, the constructor is called by default in Java. So Java has a default constructor, and JVM provides the default constructor. And whenever we create the object of the class, the default constructor is called. So next point is Java constructor is invoked at the time of object creation. So whenever object is created, then Java constructor is invoked. And another rule for the constructor is name of the constructor in Java must be exactly same with the class name. So let's see in detail in the next slide. So we are taking two classes here, class animal and class testing. So in this class animal, we are taking two strings, string name, int age. So this is a name is the string and age is something like number 4 5. So I have kept as int, and this is the constructor here. So it is same as the class name. It doesn't have any return type, and it has a access modifier public, and here we are giving the value for name as John. So this is the class animal. So here in this class we are creating the object of this class, and we are printing the name value. So because we have assigned the value for name as John, so John is printed in the output. So this is called the default constructor. A constructor, so in Java, automatically Java creates a default constructor. If you are not writing this one also, by default in Java there is a default constructor, and it doesn't have any parameter. Default constructor means it doesn't have any parameter. Java compiler provides a constructor by default default constructor by default. Yeah, so if we are not writing this constructor also, Java provides a default constructor. So let me show that here. So first I will take the string name, then I will take int age, then I will not write the constructor now. I will show the default constructor which Java is providing to you. So I will create the object of animal class, animal space small case animal equal to new space animal. So first we are creating the object of animal class, and let's try printing out the value for age and name. So first we are creating the first in this line we are creating a object of the animal class. So what we have discussed in the above slide, whenever we are creating the object, then constructor is called. So here we are not declaring any constructor, but by default Java compiler provides a constructor, and this default constructor is called by default. So how to check that? So by default Java is giving the constructor, and the values of age and name are not declared, but it gives the null values. So let's run this. So yeah, so age is integer, so its default value is 0, and name is string, so its default value is string. Sorry, the name is string, so its default value is null. So if you see this point, if you do not assign values, then default values will be like 0 for int and null for string. So whenever you create an object in heap memory, it will just create a blank object, and if you don't assign the values, the default values will be taken. Yeah. So now let me write a constructor by myself. Public name equal to, I will write something like John. Yeah. So when we have assigned the value of name as John here, so this value should be printed as John. So because just now we didn't we didn't create a we didn't create a constructor. Default constructor is called, and the values are printed as 0 and null. But now we are assigning some values here, so let me assign age equal to 4. 4, yes. Now because we have written our default constructor, that is constructor without parameters, so now because we have declared our default constructor, by printing this, the values in the default constructor which we have declared should be printed. So first I have given the age and then name, so that's why. Yeah. Yeah. So the values in the constructor are printed by using this statements. Now every time we cannot say that the name of the person is John, and every time we cannot say that the age is 4. So we want different values. For that reason, I will keep something like this dot name equal to name. So I'm passing the string space name. So I will pass the value from here at the time of object creation itself. Like I will pass John here at the time of object creation, and so that value John is coming here, and we are assigning this John value to this dot name. This dot name here means the instance variable. This is the instance variable. So why we are using this keyword here? We are using this keyword to distinguish local variable and instance variable. So this is the instance variable and this is the local variable. So in order to distinguish between them, we are using this keyword. So when we are using this keyword, it is assigning the value to the instance variable, and let's print this. So what do you want to say here? Animal dot name. So print it. It says John. So it is assigning this value John. It's passing this value John, and this value John is assigned to instance variable name, and we are printing the value. So in this time, if we want to change the uh, value from John to some candy, something, any name you can give. So it will give the value which we are passing here. Test. So animal, so let me take dog. So we are passing value to animal class, so let me take dog. So value dog is printed. So now because we are passing the parameter to this constructor, this is called the parameterized constructor. So, let me go to the slide. So just now we have seen that uh, default constructor. So this is the default constructor and it doesn't have any parameters, and we are passing the we are not passing any value here, but we are giving a value here, and so the value is printed as John. Then we are using the this keyword and we are passing the value cat, and this cat is assigned to the instance variable and the value is printed as cat. So next one, so here we are using the parameterized constructor. So just now I have used the parameterized constructor string name. Now let me use the another constructor as well. Int age. So let me write this down. Oh, sorry. This dot, I want to copy this one, and sorry, there is some mistake while doing the paste. So I'm giving the two constructors name and age, and I am passing only dog. So only we can print only this name, but let me pass even some integer value, some 5 with another object. So in this object I am passing the string dog, and in this object I am passing the integer variable, integer value 5, and let me print the integer value age. So here dog and 5 will be printed. Yeah, so we can also pass two values at a time to the constructor. So using, I will write that one also. So I will write two parameters in single constructor. So I will say here I will give the value John, comma 5. So because in one object only I'm passing the name and age, so I'm doing the another object here, and so here in this object animal I am passing John and 5. So John and 5, it sees this is John and 5, it's not taking two values, so it doesn't go into this constructor. It doesn't go into this constructor as well because it's taking only single value. Now it's taking string and the integer, so it goes to here, and John gets assigned to this instance variable name, and age 5 gets assigned to this instance variable age. Now let me print this. So you here have you observed one thing. So this is the, just now first we have seen the default constructor, these all are the parameterized constructor, but have you observed that these constructors are looking similar, only that the parameter list is different. So this is called constructor overloading. So constructor overloading is having more than one constructor with different parameter lists. A class in Java can have as many constructor as it has and is called constructor overloading in Java. But the signature of two constructors must not be the same. So you can write different constructors with different parameters but with the same name, and hence it is called constructor overloading. So now let's go to the next slide. So here we are writing the multiple constructors and we are printing the values. Here we are passing multiple, here we are passing two values and it goes to this constructor, and hence here we are using multiple constructors in this class, and this is called constructor overloading. So constructor is overloading is nothing but having more than one constructor with same name and but different parameters, different number of parameters and type of parameters. Now let's go to the next slide. So I have told you that Java provides by default one constructor. So that constructor is provided only if we are not declaring any constructor by ourselves. So here let's consider we have written these constructors, but Java provides a default constructor by its own without we writing, but it doesn't provide when we write the constructors. So let's test this now. So I will pass only blank. So see here, so just now in the initial when we are not passing anything, then when we create the object it doesn't show any error, but now it shows error because the constructor animal is undefined. So because the constructor with zero parameters, that is default constructor, is not there in the animal, so it is showing the error. So when we are declaring our own constructors in the class, we only need to write the default constructor by ourselves. So let me write public animal. So now the error is resolved. So see here. So here when we are not giving the default constructor by our own, Java doesn't give the default constructor. Only when there is no constructor in the class, we have not declared any constructor in the class, then only Java compiler provides a default constructor. So just now in this slide we are getting an error, but when we are writing the default constructor by ourselves, the error is resolved. So let me see. So here the error is resolved. So that's what I have showed you here. So see here, now I will remove, just see here, now I will remove all these constructors. Okay, I will remove even this constructor. See here no error is shown because if we are not declaring any constructor, then Java provides the default constructor and it is not visible to us now, but Java compiler provides a default constructor and hence this error is not shown. See, error is not shown even though you are not writing any constructor. But when you write these multiple this parameterized constructor, and when you don't give this default constructor, then Java is looking for the default constructor. It is looking for the it's trying to create an object without any parameters. It's trying to create an object by passing no parameters. So it's asking Java constructor animal is undefined. So that's the concept. So remember this point. Next one. Yeah, so here if for example in your class, I mean like if you don't want to use the constructor, then you can create something like private. Then if you don't want any constructors for your class, then make default constructor as private. So once you make private, only the we cannot access from outside the class. That's why it's showing as constructor animal is not visible. So when you don't want to use the constructors in this class, then declare the private. But that scenario mostly we are not going to use it. So yeah, so last slide. Constructor is similar to a method. It has name and it has round brackets. So see here, the constructor looks similar to the method. It has but it has same name of the class, and it has no return type. So method has return type, but here we don't have return type. Change in the constructor with respect to the method is that constructor we don't specify the return type. The name of the constructor must be same as the class name. In method name you can keep any method name, but for the constructor you should keep same as the class name only. There is no need to call constructor. It gets automatically called by the time of creation of an object. At the time of calling constructor, memory for the object is allocated in the memory. Constructors are called only once at the time of object creation, while methods can be called any number of times. When you create an object in the heap memory, it will create a blank object. If you don't assign values, then default values will be assigned like 0 and null for 0 for int and null for string. We can also define default values at the time of creation of object by giving our default values. Yeah, so that's it, constructors. So please share the video if you like the content, and if you have any comments, please mention in the comments. Thank you.